Hello there, my name is iMac117, and today I'm going to be reviewing Star Trek Beyond. I don't know what I was just thinking. Beyond the end of the world. No, I'm kidding. Star Trek. Yes, so this is the third in the trilogy, like they did the first one, which came out in 2009, Star Trek, and then they did the second one, Into Darkness, which is personally my favorite with Benedict Cumberbatch, and then Star Trek Beyond. And I'm not talking about the classic. I know there's classics in the old TV show and stuff. I don't know if they relate to these ones. I'm pretty sure they don't, but I think this is a whole new reboot. But out of the reboot ones, I'm going to call the reboots or the newer ones. Yeah, this is the third one. So, I'm more of a Star Wars fan, if you don't know. Jesus, excuse me. Yeah, I love Star Wars way more than Star Trek. I think Star Wars, personally, I've loved Star Wars ever since I was a kid. Well, I don't know. I'm 16 now. I was 15. Yeah, it was my birthday last week anyway. But yeah, I've loved Star Wars way more. Back, I grew up with the prequels, which I know everyone hated. Don't get me wrong, I don't like them either. But and then I saw the originals and all that type of stuff. Never saw any of the prequels. I've never seen the original 6 movies in theaters. Never seen any of them. I saw the 7th one was the first one I saw, and I saw Clone Wars in theaters as well. But Clone Wars was shit anyway. I liked that movie wasn't great, but the TV show is good. I like TV show. Anyway, so I love Star Wars. I like Star Trek as well, but I love Star Wars way more. Anyway, so Star Trek. So is this one good? It's alright. I don't say it's the best one. The ship gets fucked up for starters, but the ship. I said ship, not shit. Gets fucked up. Anyway, so where can I start? So they start off, and it's been 3 years since Into Darkness, and they've gone their space travels, and Captain Kirk's in charge of the ship and shit. And then they go to the space station, this really awesome visual space station that looks incredible, and they land in it. They just do some stuff. But then they get a message saying it through these asteroids and stuff. There's this, my cruise thing destroying stuff, so they have a look. And then there's all these ships and everything, and it was just, visually stunning. It looked incredible. And then they land, and the bad guys look really cool. It's like, boom, boom, with the guns on their arms, and there's like, quick, and they were like securing the ship. It really did remind me of a Star Wars thing, actually, but it looked cool. I loved it. And then they land on the planet, and the planet was pretty cool. By the way, I think I've said this does have spoilers. You'll probably read the title and says spoilers. Anyway, but yeah, they land on the planet. They meet. So they're all separated, and there's Captain Kirk, and then I forgot what Simon Pegg's character and the other person, and this awesome girl who was really cool. And they have to pretty much go rescue him. So, if you don't, my opinion of the character, I love Captain Kirk. I think he's cool. Chris Pine always does a good job. Spock, I like Spock as well. He's just cool. He's just like, yeah, Spock was cool. Yeah, and then the rest of the characters, they always do their thing. They're always great. I mean, that's just who they are. I mean, I love them. They're awesome for that. No. What else can I talk about? The bad guy. Okay, the bad guy. We'll talk about new characters, but the bad guy I didn't like. I like the actor. I love the actor. He does a great job. He's been in. God, I always forget his name. I always forget how to say his name. But he sings. He's part of that Macklemore song. I challenge you to a dance off. No tax off. No tax. Sorry, that guy. And he's also in Pacific Rim and Thor and so on and so forth. Anyway, he's a great actor. But yeah, the villain itself, I feel like he didn't have a good enough reason. There's a chair here. Yeah, I feel like he didn't have good enough reason to get angry at mankind. Like, he's just like, he was planning for them to come and rescue him and give them the artifact. And at the start, you see this artifact, and I kind of think that thing is going to be important in some sort of way. It was kind of obvious. I've watched a lot of movies, and I can tell if it's going to be obvious or not. But yeah, it was kind of obvious. But anyway, so that bad guy, he got stranded on the planet. That was his problem. He got stranded on the planet, and no one came to save him. And then he decides to get, like, and he gets all pissed off about other things as well, about not being, he wanted to be a military soldier, but then now he joined Star. What are they called? Oh, it's not Star Command, is it? It's like Buzz Lightyear. Star Command, do copy. Oh, no, it's like, good old Buzz. Anyway, but yeah. So I felt like they didn't have a good enough. He didn't have a good enough reason to get angry at mankind. He just sure they left him, but that's what they would have done. They would have been like, if a ship would have gone missing, they probably would have had a looked around, but then they're just like, oh, where the hell is he, or something like that. And they couldn't find him, and then they would have said, assume he's dead. That's what they do. That's what humans do, and you just have to move on, I guess. But you know, he tried to destroy a space station, and yeah. Anyway, but the battles, the motorbike scene was cool, and there was Chris Pine rides a motorbike. That was really cool, visually awesome. And then this girl that I always forget her name, but the white girl you see her in the movie. By white, I mean her skin is actually literally white. I'm not talking about skin. You know what? I probably shouldn't have said that. Anyway, but anyway, so yeah, she was just a scavenger. Kind of reminds me of some Star Wars character, right? Anyway, but yeah, so she was there. She was cool, and she got angry at this one person because that person killed her father. I think it was, yeah, her father. And there was this the one bit that they're having a fight and stuff with the person. And she's like trying to get revenge, and she's just like did this massive scream, and then jumped in and like. Who would do that? I mean, you would scream and run at the same time or something like that, or like, you know, just, or unless you had some sort of roar like Venom's, like, you know, something like that. Or, I don't know, I can't think of any other characters that have that supersonic ability. But, you know, they do that scream, and it's for a reason. She just did it because she's pissed, and I don't like when they do that. Yeah, anyway, so they find the new ship, this new older ship. I don't know if it was a Star Trek reference, you guys might know that. No, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't think it is something important or anything like that. But yeah. What else? Just thinking. Oh, there was good comedy in this, by the way, as well. Good comedy. Like there was one bit that Spock was just like there was just like. His girlfriend. I always forget their names. I'm sorry that I don't know all these characters' names, but Spock was just his girlfriend. So I'll say that. But his girlfriend, he had a necklace, gave a necklace to her. He's like, I can track it through the radiation thing or something. It's like, you gave your girlfriend a radiation necklace. He's like, don't worry, it's completely harmless. And then he's like, you gave your girlfriend a tracking device, and everyone's just looking at him. It's just like, that's not what I intended. You know, I thought that was clever. I thought that was funny. And then another bit, when they escape the planet and all these ships are leaving, there's like, the ships, like, they call them bees, and all the ships are like together, just like, and going and doing all this shit, and they have this particular flight pattern, and then the ship, they have music on their ship, so they connect it in, and then it screws it all up, and they all blow up, and the music, it's just, usually I think those moments are so cheesy and bad, but it was actually really cool, like going through, and all the ships moving around and stuff like that. I was just like, wow, that is so cool, and the music just, and there's like connecting to frequency, and it was just like, oh, that was cool. Because usually I just think, wow, that's cheesy as fuck. But no, it was actually really cool. Next, they get onto the space station and have to take down the main bad guy. And his power, the bad guy somehow has this thing that he connects to, like, humans. We'll say Batman. And then he gets transformed or something into the, like, I never really understood that. But yeah, he kept on trying to become normal again, I guess. He tried to activate this weapon that was that little artifact thing to make a weapon to destroy the humans, which kills them instantly. It turns them into ash. It's really complicated. But, it's not complicated, but it's more that he doesn't have a good reason to get angry. I don't think he had a good reason, but he didn't have a good enough reason. Like, bloody, Benedict Cumberbatch in bloody, Into Darkness, Khan. He was pissed off that that dude was trying to kill him, and, they took his, crew away. You know, he had a pretty good reason, you know, and, you know, and then the first one, he time traveled, and, I haven't seen the first one for ages, actually, but, I think I've seen it like twice, the first one, but it's been a long time. Can't fully remember it, but I'll have to watch that one again. But apparently that is the best one, the first one. Then I think it's this one, then the third one, like rating wise, I don't know. But I like the second one. I thought Band of Cumberbatch was great. Uh, yeah, and then the ship gets destroyed, as I said at the start, and then it gets rebuilt again, and then they leave. Honestly, this movie felt like an episode in a TV show. It didn't feel like I was watching a movie. You know, like the Into Darkness one felt like a movie. The first one felt like a movie. This one felt like a TV show. Like they just did something, went to a space station, took care of a problem, left, like help them with a problem, and gone do it, and then some bad stuff happened. Then they defeat the bad guy, come back, and then and then they leave again. It felt like a TV show episode, because some episodes like in TV shows, like they go somewhere and then it's just like, oh, what about I can help you and I can do that for you, and then they do it, get into some trouble, make it personal, and then they do something and then they leave, and that's the end of that. It really did feel like a TV episode for me, but that's just my opinion. You guys might see it differently. And then the old Spock. He died, I think, last year or something. And he was the original Spock, obviously. I knew that. But yeah, he was a really good. Yeah, it showed like memories of him, I guess, because they said he died in the movie as well. And I never really fully understand it. Could someone comment this? Say in the comments below how this works. Like, is that him in the future, or is that like another Spock? I never really fully understood that. Is that like another Spock who's like, I don't know. I never really understood that. If you guys could tell me how that works, that would be great. Yeah, and that's really it. I'd probably give it a. Sorry, I originally gave it a 4 out of 5 when I was talking to my brother. Me and my brother saw this, and he gave it a 3 out of 5. He thought it was average. He wanted to see Jason Bourne, and we probably should have. I didn't tell him it was out, and I just thought, just think Star Trek. And we did, and I'm probably going to give it, I think I'll have to give it the same, 3 out of 5. I gave it a 4 originally because I thought the only thing I didn't like was the bad guy. But then now I've kind of thought about it over, and that was straight after the movie. So I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 because I thought that it felt like a TV show, and then the bad guy was a little bit piss poor. I didn't like it. It wasn't a great bad guy. Not a memorable bad guy. I mean, we've had some pretty good bad guys, and this one wasn't that great. Anyway, so yeah, that's my review on I was about to say Suicide Squad, on Star Trek Beyond, and I will be doing a top 6 or top 10. I don't know what I'll do yet, of my favorite films so far. Wow, I just cracked my leg, for 2016. Before I see Suicide Squad, I'm seeing Suicide Squad August 4th in Gold Class with my family because they want to see it as well. So yeah, I get to see it on the release date for Australia, so that's awesome. Anyway, so post your comments down below. Please like this video and subscribe. The subscribe button is available to everyone, and the like button. If you press that dislike button, I will murder you. Not really, but yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.